Good morning, children. Welcome back to the English class. Today we are going to do direct and indirect speech again. But in today's class, we are going to learn how to change the interrogative sentences from direct speech to indirect speech. We have already learned how to change declarative sentences into indirect speech. I hope you remember it well. Now let us do a quick recap. There are two ways of reporting the speech of a person. And what are these two ways? Direct speech and indirect speech. Now, a quick recap of the rules we should remember when we are changing a sentence from direct speech to something in indirect speech. The most important rule is that we have to remove the inverted commas or the quotation marks or speech marks. Do you remember? Inverted commas, speech marks, or quotation marks. Now, this is true, and we should follow this rule for any kind of sentence, whether it's a declarative sentence, an interrogative sentence, an imperative sentence, or an exclamatory sentence. Now, if you have a declarative sentence, the reported speech is introduced by some conjunction as that, if, what, why, etc. That means we have to remove the inverted commas, we have to remove the comma and all the other punctuation marks. If there is a question mark, an exclamatory mark, except the full stop. If you have a full stop, the full stop is not removed. Other punctuation marks are all removed. And once you remove the inverted commas and the comma, you have to add the conjunction that or a few others are also acceptable. But the most common conjunction which we use after removing the comma is that. The comma separating the reporting verb from the reported speech is removed, and if you have other punctuation marks, those are also removed. Now some children will wonder, if we remove the question mark or the exclamation mark, how will we know that it was a question which we are converting or changing to indirect speech or an exclamatory sentence? Now that is a very important thing. We don't put these marks back when we have converted it into indirect speech, but the words should tell us that it was a question or an exclamation or an imperative sentence. You may have the word said. My friend said. Now, if it is a declarative, then we say or change it to my friend told. If it is an exclamatory, then this word should change to said, should change to exclaimed. My friend exclaimed. If it is a question, we change it to words like asked or inquired. And if it is an imperative sentence, the word said to has to change accordingly. It could be my friend ordered, my friend commanded, my friend requested if it is a request, or even pleaded. So these words are very important and we have to change them according to the kind of sentence we have. Now there are some more rules. If the reporting verb is in the present tense, then it is changed into the corresponding past tense forms. This we have to do for all kinds of sentences. If you have something in the simple present, simple past, it changes to simple past. Present perfect changes to past perfect. Past continuous changes to past perfect continuous. But if something is already in past perfect or past perfect continuous, there is no change. Some words also have to change. If you have will, it becomes would. If you have shall, it becomes should. Can becomes could. So you have to remember these rules and learn these rules by heart and apply them when you are converting any sentence from direct speech to indirect speech. Please remember this rule is very important, that if the reporting verb is in the present tense, then it has to change to the corresponding past tense. That means simple present to simple past, present continuous to past continuous, present perfect to past perfect, and if it is present perfect continuous, then past perfect continuous. But if it is already past perfect or past perfect continuous, then there is going to be no change. It will remain the same. Now the second one is words showing nearness or a specific time also change in indirect speech. If you have words like now, these, here, which show the nearness or a specific time, like the days, today, tomorrow, yesterday, these words are also going to change. Of course, if a time is mentioned like 2 p.m., 3 a.m., that is not going to change. But if you have words like now, do it now, then it changes to do it then. These becomes those, and this will become that, obviously. Here becomes there. And there are many more which are given in your book. I'm doing a quick recap, so I have not taken all the words. Please learn these words from your Real English book. All the rules are there, as well as your skill enhancer. In Real English book, the rules for changing declarative sentences direct to indirect are given in lesson 6, that is David Begins a New Life part 1, after the chapter gets over in the grammar section, and how to change the sentences, that is interrogative sentences or questions, from direct to indirect is given in lesson number 7, that is David Begins a New Life part 2. Then in skill enhancer, of course, you have all the rules explained in detail. So please go through all these rules with examples again if you don't remember them. Today changes to that day, tomorrow to the following day, yesterday to the previous day. Similarly, if you have the next month or the next year, then also the words will change accordingly. And for last month, last year also, it changes. The previous month, the previous year. And if it is the next month or the next year, then it will be the following month or the following year. Now pronouns change in indirect speech. For example, if you have you, it changes to he or she. You, if it is used later on, I want you to come, then it is him or her. My changes to his or her. Ourselves changes to themselves. and we changes to they. And as I told you, there are many more pronouns which have to change when I change to indirect speech. So please go through these rules properly. Now there is an exception to these rules. Whenever I am reporting the speech of a person, then I have to change I told you words which show nearness or specific time. I have to change the tense from present to the corresponding past. I have to change the pronoun. I have to remove the speech marks and the comma and other punctuation marks except the full stop. But then there is an exception. Now, when we have an exception is that if the reported speech states a universal fact, the fact which is universally accepted, which does not change, then the simple present tense in the reported speech remains unchanged. Suppose I come here and I say honesty is the best policy. Now it is universally accepted. It doesn't change with time. So when you are changing it into indirect, the word may change. The teacher told or the teacher said, but then what is inside or between the inverted commas or speech marks will not change. The teacher said that honesty is the best policy. We will not change it to past tense and write was, because it is a universal fact. It is a proverb which does not change. Now let us take another example. The teacher said the sun rises in the east. Now the sun rises in the east. Does it change every day? No. Every day the sun rises in the east. It is a universal fact. It does not change. So when I am reporting these words of the teacher or when I am writing it in indirect speech, I will write it in the same tense. So how will I write this sentence? Let us see now. The teacher said that the sun rises in the east. Now what I have done is I have removed the comma, I have removed the inverted commas and added that, but after that the sun rises in the east remains the same because it is a universally accepted fact and this does not change. There is no past and present for this. So the only things I have to change are the inverted commas, remove them, remove the comma, and because we are removing the comma, I have to add the word that. Now we come to the topic of the day, that is how to change interrogative sentences from direct speech to indirect speech. We have seen the rules for changing declarative sentences. Many of the rules are the same, but then there are some special rules which we have to follow while changing interrogative sentences from from direct speech to indirect speech, or when reporting an interrogative sentence to someone. Now let us see the rules. Some of them are of course common and some are different. The first one, remove the quotation marks and question marks in the interrogative sentence. Every interrogative sentence which is in direct speech will have quotation marks and of course a question mark. But when I'm writing it in indirect speech, both these have to be removed. There should be no question mark and there should be no quotation marks. So you have to change it accordingly, but then I'm not going to write it again in indirect speech. I'm going to remove these two. I'm not going to use the word that. In declarative, I had removed the comma. Here also I'm going to remove the comma and the other marks except the full stop, because I'm supposed to put a full stop at the end. I'll tell you why. Use if or whether if the sentence inside the quotation marks begins with a helping verb. Now, if you have a helping verb which is in the beginning of an interrogative sentence, like you may have is, are, am, was, were, these are all helping verbs, and if our question starts with these, then after I start my sentence with words like inquired, questioned, asked, I have to write if or whether. I'm not going to write that. I have to leave that and use if or whether if it begins with a helping verb. But what to do if the sentence does not begin with a helping verb? Then you have to use the given interrogative words. For example, what, when, where, who, whom, how, etc. If the sentence does not begin with a helping verb. We'll see examples later on, but just remember this is very important. If a sentence inside the quotation marks begins with a helping verb, then what am I supposed to do? I am supposed to use if or whether. And if the sentence inside the quotation marks does not begin with a helping verb, then I have to use the given interrogative word like what, when, where, who, whom, etc. Don't use that. This is very important in an interrogative sentence or when reporting a question. I'm not supposed to use the conjunction that. T-H-A-T. This I have to leave. Then you have to change the reporting verb. You may have say, says, said, which doesn't clarify or make it clear whether it was a question. Said I can use for a declarative sentence, I can use for an imperative sentence, for an exclamatory, or for an interrogative. It is a word which I can use for any kind of sentence. But then if it is in direct speech, the question mark or the exclamation mark or the full stop tells me which kind of sentence it is. But when changed to indirect speech, I'm not supposed to use these marks. So how will the person reading the sentence know? Why and how is very important. So what I have to do is I have to change the reporting verb into asked, inquired, questioned, or wondered, depending on the kind of sentence I have. The most commonly used word for questions, the reporting verb for questions, is asked. And if you have someone asking a question or wondering or inquiring, you can use these words as well. And if you are not sure, you can just change said to asked, and this word tells that it is a question which has been changed into indirect speech. Now the last one is the sentence is changed into a statement. Because we are removing the question mark, we cannot frame a sentence like a question. I have to write it down as a statement, and then put a full stop. Now, very important rules are: first, the quotation marks and question marks have to be removed. Quotation marks we were removing for declarative also. So here you must remember that question mark has to be removed. And then what to use if it starts with a helping verb: if or whether. If it doesn't start with a helping verb, then we use words like whatever has been used, the interrogative word like what, when, where, etc. That has to be avoided. That is not going to be used. Change the reporting verb, that means the word like said or say or says, to a word which shows that it is a question like asked, inquired, questioned or wondered. And then the last but not the least, it is very important that when I frame a sentence, it should be into a statement, changed into a statement, or it should be a declarative sentence. Now let us see two examples, very easy ones this time. Raja said to Ravi, "Why didn't you attend the meeting yesterday?" Now here question mark is there. So we know it's a question, but if you see the sentence Raja said to Ravi, only this part, it could be in any kind of sentence. It could be a declarative, it could be an imperative, or it could be an exclamatory sentence. But when we read it fully, Raja said to Ravi, "Why didn't you attend the meeting yesterday?" I see the question mark and I see the interrogative word. I know it is a question. Now, when I have to change it to indirect speech, what am I supposed to do so that the person reading it after I have changed it knows that it was a question which I am reporting? So, I had told you that the word said has to be changed according to the sentence you have to asked or inquired or wondered. And then if you have a sentence starting with a helping verb, then I use if or whether. Now, does this sentence, the first one, start with a helping verb? No, it starts with an interrogative word. Why? So, when it starts with something else and not a helping verb, I have to use that word, but I am not supposed to use that. So, the statement will be, Raja asked Ravi why he had not attended the meeting the day before. Didn't is in past tense, and you can see from your table if you have something in the past tense, to which tense it has to be changed, and you have to change it accordingly. So the correct sentence will be, Raja asked Ravi why he had not attended the meeting the day before. Yesterday becomes the day before, or you can even say the previous day. For yesterday, you can have previous day. For tomorrow, you can have the next day. Now let us take one more example so that you are thorough with it. How often do you go to the theater? Said Robin to Priya. Now you may have Raja said to Ravi, which is in the beginning, and then you have the sentence in inverted commas. You could have the words in inverted commas before, and then said, who said to whom later on. This should not confuse you. It is only a difference of framing a sentence, but the sentence is an interrogative sentence which has to be changed to from direct to indirect speech. Now I'll repeat the sentence. How often do you go to the theater? Said Robin to Priya. Now I am supposed to remove the question mark. So I'm supposed to use a word instead of said some word which tells me that it is a question. So the easiest one, of course, is asked. You can even write words like inquired. Wondered you can't write, but inquired you may write. So here the sentence changes to, from direct to indirect, changes to Robin asked Priya how often she went to the theater. Again, this question does not start with a helping verb. It starts with an interrogative verb. And what is the interrogative word here? It is how. So we start our sentence with the words which are given last here. Robin asked Priya. These will come first. And then I'm not going to use that. I'm going to take that interrogative word which is there in the direct speech. How often she went to the theater. And please remember, when I'm changing to indirect, I have to put a full stop and I have to write it as a declarative sentence. I cannot frame it as a question. Now children, today's homework I'm going to give in the ERP prep platform. Please go through it and complete your prep in the Skill Enhancer or Real English book, whichever book is mentioned in the prep. Thank you, children. We will meet next time when we are going to do a little more and learn a little more and practice a little more of direct and indirect speech or reported speech. Thank you, children.